What up, dudes? Today I'm gonna teach you how to get this lo-fi sound. So, first things first, I always put a compressor first because sidechain compression is kind of a big part of the sound. Watch if I turn this on. So the next thing I do is put some reverb on it, right? So let's see what it sounds like without reverb. So adding that little bit of reverb gives your piano a little bit more space. It's very slight, but it's there, you know. Every little bit adds up. So let's see what it sounds like without delay. Okay, so the delay right away is one that I really noticed. So I'd say that delay and reverb are definitely a big part of this sound. I used a compressor and the settings are honestly kind of arbitrary. I would say you want a slow attack because you don't want to mess with the transients too much, and you want kind of a, I'd say this is a medium release right here. And I'm kind of compressing it pretty hard, but that's because I'm not messing with the transients. Like if I was squishing the transients, I wouldn't be pushing it so hard. I can kind of get away with a little bit more. Anyway. It just kind of pumps it up a little bit. And then here's my secret. That's isotope final. What I do is I don't mess with EQs or anything like that. I mess with the year settings. These are basically EQ'd a certain way to sound like they came from a certain year. And then the main reason I use isotope final is the warp depth right here. This creates that kind of warbly effect, and it's really cool. And you can mess with the warp model over here. So these different buttons, they do different warp models, and I tend to like this one because it's a little bit more warbly. It's unpolished, it's not perfect, and I like that. Anyway, let's go a little bit into the contact preset here. So I'm using the giant. I have the tone all the way down, but I also have the dynamic range all the way down. Well, what's the point of having the tone all the way down if you're just gonna give it the least amount of dynamic range possible? Well, let me explain. So for this kind of sound, you don't want a piano that's being like absolutely destroyed by somebody's hands, right? Like someone's just lightly playing it. So let me show you. That doesn't sound right to me. It just doesn't. So what we do instead, we soften it up a little bit, and then we decrease the dynamic range. What you saw me do there was I turned off the space knob, because space in this sense is basically delay and reverb, and I already have that in the effects chain, so there's no point. I don't know why I never turned that off. But yeah, that's how you get a lo-fi sound. Let's walk through it one more time. You got a sidechain compressor, so basically you can see there's a little sidechain button, and you tell Ableton what you want this to be sidechained against. In this case, I want it to be sidechained against wonky drums, so that's why that's there. And then you have the post effects selected versus pre effects. And then next in the chain we have reverb. Reverb is cool for giving things space. And a little tip about reverb: if you use it as a tool rather than an effect, it goes a long way. So let me explain what I mean. If you use reverb in such a way that you want to put something behind something, and you're going in with that mindset that you're moving something behind something else other than, like, and you're not thinking about the fact that, oh, reverb is going to make this sound big, but you're actually thinking about it practically, that's going to go a long way in making your reverb sound better. It's all about how you approach these things. That's the biggest key difference between somebody who, you know, oh, I just want to make my piano sound big, versus, oh, I want to give this piano a sense of space and maybe put it behind in the mix so that the drums stand out more. See, you have to do things with purpose. But anyway, and then after that we have delay. Delay is pretty cool, because again, it's giving that piano a sense of space there. And then you're using the compressor on the end to kind of exacerbate the effects. So you're making them more pronounced, basically. And then on the end of that, once we have all the effects, what we're doing is we're warbling all of it. So, because basically you gotta think, this is coming off of a record, and, you know, records don't care about reverb or whether they come first or not, you know? So you have to put that on the end because it's going to make it sound more like a record and less like, oh, it's just warbling in the beginning and then it kind of, you know, goes through the effects chain. And no, it's going to sound weird, so you have to put it on the end. But yeah, I don't touch the RPM knob. I don't touch any of this other stuff, really. The only thing that I really mess with here is the warp depth. And another cool thing is you can actually automate the spin down button, so you can kind of use that as a transition, which is pretty cool. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be making another video, and hopefully it'll be a Serum tutorial and a little guide on how to make some cool basses. If you didn't already know, I make house in addition to lo-fi. I know how to make some of the wubbier kind of basses, so if you want to stick around for that, let's make some basses. But after that, I plan to do a Serum guide, like a Serum walkthrough video. Like a very basic one, but still. Anyway, if you liked the video, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll catch you later. Bye.